Hello, everyone. My name is Cheese, and today we have something that I'm very excited to do, which is a tier ranking of the first 20 episodes of the wonderfully weird world of Gumball. Oh my god. So, just to put it out there, just to put it out there, I have been a Gumball fan for almost 10 years. I first got into the show around 2016, so that's like the second half of season 4. And Gumball is my favorite show. Which one? Well, I'm gonna combine both of them. The Amazing World and The Wonderfully Weird. Collectively, it's my favorite show. Like it has been for so long. I know if you've either been on the channel or if you know me from my other platforms, you may know me as the Smilin' Friends girl, because a lot of my work is in the Smilin' Friends fandom. But actually, Gumball is and always been my favorite show. So I am very serious about Gumball. Because Gumball is a very important show to me, and I have very strong opinions about it, and aspects of it, and these episodes in general. So this is going to be a kind of unscripted, unfiltered video style because we're just speaking my mind about these episodes. Some of which I have very strong opinions on, some of them I don't. So, I obviously, with anything, it's like there's some episodes I will talk more about than others simply because I have more to say. It's not that I'm purposely given uneven time to talk about these episodes, it's just how cookies crumble. So, yeah. So if you don't mind just throwing this on in the background while you do something else or whatever, that is preferable because all you're gonna get is this and my yapping. Because one of my favorite things to do is to yap about Gumball, so yeah, this video is gonna be like an hour or two, at least an hour or two long. I'll try not to bore y'all too extensively, but I just really wanted to do that, to do this in general, so this is what you're gonna get. If you've been on the channel, this is my first video that's not like a fan fiction reading of mine. So the vibe of this is gonna be kind of different because I'm just being impromptu with it and like less professional about it. But also, probably to let y'all know, is that this video is meant for people that have already watched the show. I mean, the way I'm gonna talk about these episodes is like if you know what I'm talking about type of thing. So either if you, I mean, if you don't really care, like spoilers, obviously, then go ahead. But like, if you want to watch the series, please watch it first, form your own opinions, and then come back later. Because again, this is not like the objective ranking of like the quality of these episodes. This is just my opinion. My dumbass opinion is the only thing we're gonna use as a reference here. I mean, it's a tier ranking, you would expect that, but I'm just putting it out there because sometimes people can get confused. It's like, so basically, if I rank something higher or lower than you ought to have it, you can let me know in the comments if you your opinions about our tier ranking of this in general. But yeah, so enough of me going on. Let's get into the tiers because I did name them. Not very creatively, but we did name them nonetheless. And kind of explain the thought process behind all of this. Alright, so first we got Peak Cinema. This is like the best of the best. Like, I'm gonna be kind of picky about what I put in this tier. Like, these gotta be like, these episodes gotta be like everything to me. Or like, classic Gumball peak to kind of win me over in that aspect. So only a handful of my absolute favorites are gonna end up in this tier. And then the second tier is just love this because I love it. It's just there might be something missing for it to go up into peak, but I still very much enjoy it. Like I can confidently say like yes, I love this episode. And then in the middle here we have pretty good, which I mean, it's pretty good. It's like it's not like oh my god, I love it, but I also don't feel like indifferent about it. It's not even mid. It's just good. I mean, it's good. I mean, a lot of things will probably end up in like these two tiers, but you'll have to find out. And then fourthly, we have fine, but not my vibe. This tier is specific to like episode concepts, plot lines, structures, things like that are not objectively bad. It's just not my taste. Like there's some episode themes that I just don't really care about, or like dynamics, or like character pairings or character centric episodes that I just don't really care about. It's not like in a bad way, it's just like I don't feel too strongly about these ones, but they don't like offend me. Like it's not offensive or offensively bad in my opinion, it's just not my vibe. I hope that explains it. And then we have hell. We will get to that when we get to that, alright? So, now we have all that out of the way. Let's get into the actual ranking. Alright, so one more thing. We are going to go through these in the order of the episodes, like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we have them lined up, and that's the easiest way I can think to talk about them. So first, oh, the burger. Oh my god, okay, we're already starting off strong because this is peak. Come on. There we go. Oh my. You don't understand how happy I am that this was the first thing I saw of this show. Because this episode made me cry. You're thinking, that is fucking stupid. But this was the first new episode of Gumball I have seen in almost 7 years. It healed my inner child so strongly that this made me cry. That's how good this episode was. Because if the season started out with like a mid episode, like we will get to them, I would have been destroyed. But that this was my introduction to it, I was like, oh my god, we are so fucking back, and I just cried. It's like I'm brave enough to admit that. But this is so good. This is so good. Like, what a way to come out. What a way to come back into the world again is with something like the burger. Because it's episodes like this that kind of make me realize, like, really Gumball's strongest qualities. Because they can do some damn good social commentary. Like, kind of a pattern in in this season specifically, at least compared to the original show, is that I feel like their social commentary has gotten like sharper, a little bit more nuanced. Like I think they're really going into that because this was actually such a really good commentary on like monopolies, like capitalistic monopolies, and how capitalism hurts people to give the rich more power and control over their lives, and also like the food industry and how like corporations purposefully, basic as the episode said, like poison people with their food, and how like food and medical and all other aspects of life are connected by the same few companies, and how that really damages people, and like this whole like we have nothing healthy to eat, so what can we do? It's like one of those situations where you feel a little bit helpless in, because it's like, well, there's what can we do about a problem so big that it's like, is it worth just to give up? But then at the end they do actually eat the rich, which is a little hamburger CEO, and I just thought that was absolutely incredible. The whole, like, we must actually get into like the plot itself. It reminds me of The Safety. The Safety is a very classic original Gumball episode, so I think that it gave those vibes, very much helped it out. Because it's like the same type of plot of Darwin being super paranoid about some like uncontrollable force, and he goes ape shit and tries to do the most to like protect people. it's the same vibe here, even though this situation's different enough from the safety that I think it didn't just copy that episode. Like, like, like as we go through the episode and they're trying the different ways that they can basically eat something that they can feel good about, and it just getting progressively worse, and they look more progressively malnourished, and Gumball goes insane. Well, they both go insane, but I think Gumball goes the most insane. But it's like I feel like that type of structure where it's like it goes from fine to horrible, and then it's kind of bittersweet in the end because I don't know, maybe it was, but I just think that like first it's like similar to things we've already seen, which is fine. Like we will see a couple episodes that do follow like a similar plot line to something we've already seen, but most of the time they do it different enough to where it's like okay, we can we can re-dip into old territory, but there's still different ways we can do it, type of thing. The burger is at least top 20 of the franchise. I think I can say that. Yes. Because this reminds me of like Gumball's strongest suits and like the story in general. It feels it feels Gumball-esque because they did do a similar plot before, but it's like this felt like being at home again. It's like this gave me so much hope for the show. It like maintained my hope for the show is in this episode. So it's definitely getting peak. Alright. The assistant. Oh. This was a good one. It took me a couple watches to like fully appreciate it, but this is like hold on. I love this. I love this. Like first of all, Toxic Yuri, hello. That was not on my bingo card for this show, but thank God. Thank God they did that because who doesn't? But it's basically the whole plot is like Nicole fallen for like the sentient AI woman. I I don't know who thought of that, but it's like okay, that is kind of cool. But like for a Nicole episode, like this is really strong. Like I think it's probably one of my favorite like Nicole centric episodes because like her motivations make so much sense. It's like she feels like stressed out and underappreciated in her family life, so she reaches out to like something else to kind of give her that supplement comfort and understanding that she needs, even if it is like a sentient AI being kind of thing. But I think that they were kind of leaning into like I mean, not like, oh, she's such a boomer, she will get attached to the AI creature. I think it's just like maybe it's like a middle-aged person commentary, I'm not sure, where it's like they're not that critical of like AI or like internet things, even though she did seem concerned when Ori like like farmed up her like search history and was like telling her like, "Oh, you bought 3 of these last month." That's like that. But it's like this is very much a commentary and like don't let AI or like basically the internet run your life because it does do a lot of damage. Again, we got 2 social commentary episodes in a row, except this one felt less so than the burger. Like the burger definitely went harder on their messaging, but this one did it good as well. It's just like I just really enjoyed seeing Nicole being happy. Like low key, and like the little like VR world that they went in, that was so cool. And it's like I like Nicole being happy, and the message in the end is like my family's annoying, but of course I still love them. Like I did find like the climax like fight scene to be really good. Like Gumball can do some like good like climax type moments like that where like she's 1 foot into the VR world and 1 foot in reality, but the love of the family overtakes everything. And I like a theme that I've noticed also in this season is how much they like kind of focus on how much the family actually loves each other. Like, I'd say at least half of these episodes have some type of undertone like that, which I love so much. Like, that's one of my favorite things about this new series is how much they, like, emphasize how much the family loves each other, because we all know Gumball can be kind of cynical sometimes. There's it's more than just like social commentary. Just like any episode, there's like cynicism kind of like sprinkled into it because Gumball is just like that. But I think it's so important that we have like the right amount of cynicism and like skepticism. We also have enough of like, but I still love the people that matter the most to me. Like that's the most important thing. It's just that is so good to see. Like I love it. Even though the rest of the Watterson family did, I don't know if it was necessarily out of character or they just needed them to be lazy to make the plot work. I mean, there's other episodes in the franchise where like they've been like super lazy and stuff, but it's probably mostly to make the plot work. I don't know. But I just noticed that they were doing that, where it's like these characters have to be this way to make the plot work. It wasn't like negative or like jarring. I just noticed that. That's kind of a weird thing to mention, but I thought I'd mention it because yeah. Like I would watch this quite a few more times. Like I love it and I think the concept is interesting and informative. So, very good episode there. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Okay, okay, guys. Okay. This is the reason why we have the hell tier. No. This is the distance. Fuck this episode. Listen, let me get on my soapbox for a minute because I fucking can't. I fucking can't. This is my least favorite episode of the entire fucking franchise. Like, this is actually disgusting. Like I don't care what you say. This should not exist. This should not exist. Like, do you understand how many hands this had to go through during production? And all those people saying, yes, let's make an episode about two brothers going through a toxic codependency breakup and frame it as completely, almost unironically romantic and make several sexual jokes about it. That sounds like it would be great for a PG rated show with a mostly child audience. Fuck that. Okay. If you know, you know, but do not hit me. I swear to God, do not hit me with, oh, they've done this before. They've done the Gumwin joke before, like they kissed in the treehouse. Or the dress. Oh my god, how could we forget about the dress? No, don't hit me with that. Because never have they done anything like that phone sex joke. Like, I am so fucking sorry. Who approved of this? Like, who the fuck even wrote that scene in there? I will get into the most offending bits of this episode. But the phone sex joke is literally the worst fucking thing about this because it is the most not subtle gumball joke I think I've ever seen. Like, this this made me crash out. Like this was a crash out moment because I'm like, they ruined this. This episode being so bad doesn't ruin the show for me. It's just like this is not an infallible show. Up until this point, I haven't had an episode I hated so strongly as The Distance. So this is like, it's just why the incest? Why is it incestuous? I know they've made jokes about it before, like I've mentioned, but it's like, it's never been to this degree of sexual. Like, why are we having a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old brothers? I don't give a fuck if they're like adopted brothers. They're still brothers. it's bad, and it's still bad, and let's frame it as sexual, and it's gross and like, I don't care. Like, oh, it's I don't care if it's made for kids or adults or whoever. It's like incest is like one of those things that you just don't really fuck with like that. It's just wrong. Like this episode is just wrong. And the thing that kind of hurts about this is that they actually did portray like the toxic codependency relationship like really well. Like they that was portrayed very realistically despite the subjects being inappropriate. It's like this, yeah, that's a good, objectively good representation. It's just, why did you have to make them brothers? Why did you have to make the brothers do it? You could have had Gumball with anybody else, or even just frame this episode not like that. Because if you could rewrite this episode, it would probably just be like normal, like clinginess talk. But why did it have to be this way? It's like it's confusing and kind of it's very disheartening actually, because I'm like, what the hell is going on? And it's not only that one like phone sex joke that made me pissed off, and also the fact that they made this whole thing. Because even Darwin said like in the ending, where like Gumball explained like why he felt this way, and then Darwin's like, "That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard," and I was like, "Excuse me, sir, who wrote that? Like you're not even trying. It's like you're not even trying. Not that we shouldn't be doing this at all, let alone being so blatant about it. It's like what is wrong with you? I mean, it's not. I mean, it was also weird that like they kind of portrayed Darwin as having like a threesome between Tobias and Banana Joe as like his quote unquote evidence of him cheating on. They also said cheating on, which I'm like, that's a horrible way to phrase it. But it's like, why did they frame it like Darwin was having a threesome? It's like, I don't know, man. That's kind of. It's like this episode was like fine for like maybe the first third. Like it wasn't until up to like the phone call, like when they were first calling each other, where it was fine. Yes, it was a little weird, like how clingy they were, but it's like it was supposed to be like that. I just thought it was funny when Nicole said, so you two can stop wiping each other's butts." I actually thought that was funny. And also like pair that with like the Panda Party app and this creepy guy kind of like, I don't know, it sounds like he was like grooming him or something, like like the guy that was like the other guy in the Penguin app, him being like creepy towards Gumball and inciting him to like take revenge and stuff. I'm like, that's not making this situation any better, because now it's just creepy on top of creepy on top of creepy. Because I don't know, but you know what this reminds me of? The X. Yeah, this is the X did it better, obviously, because of Gumball and Rob. That makes sense. That makes so much sense. It feels like that's what they were trying to do on like basically Gumball being a mess when someone he loves ignores him. I don't mind that plot being repeated because that was funny the first time, but this time it was nasty, so no. I just I just can't, and I would be fine if I never saw this again, but hell. Straight to hell. Also, some even down to the smallest details that are like, good lord. Because if you notice, like after like the phone sex scene, like Gumball's hair was like ruffled. It's like, oh man, that was so good. Like he just fucked, and I'm like, you could have not done that, and the point still would have gotten across. But that just makes it more damning, in my opinion. And also, this is so small that I didn't realize it existed until someone else mentioned it. But in like Gumball's tent, like the tent that Darwin Tobias and Banana Joe made for him in the basement. It's like so small in such a split second, but if you look at the initial shot of the inside of the tent, pause it and like zoom into like the left corner, guess what you'll see? Fucking Gumwin ship art. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's there. It's like them holding hands with heart eyes. I will pop up a picture on the screen to prove myself. But I'm like, that wasn't. As if the coffin wasn't already sufficiently nailed. One more nail was added, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? It's like that insinuated another crash out, but I'm like, dude. Anyway, enough of this shit because I don't need high blood pressure. Um, anyway, the thing. I don't. Okay. I don't really care about this episode. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I just don't care. Well, first of all, you might want to know that Richard-centered episodes aren't usually my thing because the situations they put him in most of the time and the kind of like the same few jokes of him, like, is he making jokes about him? Oh, is he lazy? Does he eat too much? Or is he fat? It's like an incompetent. Like, you got 4 jokes for this man, and I'm sick of hearing all of them. So this kind of episode revolving around him, he just can't remember what Nicole needed from him. And then the entire thing was different situations of him getting different things to give Nicole, only to realize, the thing they needed was Granny JoJo, because she needed to come to their house for dinner. And I also really don't care about Granny JoJo. It's like, I'm not saying, like, I dislike grumpy characters, like, cause, like, I like Mr. Robinson. It's just Granny JoJo, it's like, I can only take so much of Granny JoJo, so I'm glad she wasn't that present in this episode, because she's just kind of annoying in my opinion. But it was also like kind of boring. Like that's the one thing Gumball shouldn't is like never is like boring. But this one was kind of like boring. Like yeah, there were some like good jokes, but it's like the whole premise. It's like you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's like he gets a thing, it doesn't work out. Gets another thing, it doesn't work out. It's like okay, we get it. What I do like that he did win in the end. I love it when they win in the end because some episodes they don't. And I think it was a very sweet Nicole and Richard moment. She's like, "Oh, you remembered. Now we can have a nice evening together." And I'm like, "Yes. That is so cute. Like the last 30 seconds was so cute." But besides that, that's all I can really say about it. Like it's fine, but not my vibe. This episode's the definition of that. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. It's not offensively bad. It's not even offensively boring. It's just like I don't care. I don't care. Okay. The butts. This is another. For full starters, I don't hate this one as much as I thought I should. Like, I hate how much I like this episode. Because objectively, it's weird as fuck. It's like, the elephant in the room is why Gumball and Principal Brown? I mean, I wouldn't mind an episode based on those two. We need more good Principal Brown moments, but it's like the fact that it's centered on Principal Brown gaining confidence in the shape of his ass and a child being the one to do it is kind of like, oh, you know what? It could have been worse. Is that an unpopular opinion? It could have been worse. Like, the thing that's holding me back from, like, crashing out over it too much is just, like, it's not that sexual. Like, it's not really sexual. I rewatched this episode maybe 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, it gets less weird on the rewatch. Not because I'm used to it, but just because I catch on to, like, you know what? This isn't that bad. Is it still weird? Absolutely. Is it horrible? No. Except the one comment that Gumball made. Like when they're in the barbershop when Principal Brown's getting his butt haircut. And Gumball's like, this hairstyle shows some real daddy realness, and I'm like, please kill me. We can't be doing this. That was probably like the worst like joke. That was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of gross. But it's not that bad. Cause it was I don't know, was this kind of out of character for both of them to be doing this? I feel like it kind of is. Cause like why would Gumball be that invested in pursuing this action? I don't know. I mean, Principal Brown was like reluctant about the whole time, so that's not a problem. I'm just wondering why they made Gumball the one. Besides, you have to have Gumball in every episode. But I feel like this episode would work out really well if it was like Miss Simeon. Like, imagine that. Like Miss Simeon would make the most sense to like have her be hyping up Principal Brown to like love himself. Like that makes the most sense, but they just didn't have her in this episode. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's just like this is also like a common theme that I'm concerned about in this series is how much care they take in animating Gumball's ass cheeks. I mean, for this episode, they did it less than I expected, but I think it's just a bit much. It's a bit too much. Like in the original series, they've never done that. Like basically jiggle physics on this man, and I'm like, that's a 12-year-old. We're gonna have to cut that out. But hopefully they will amend that in future episodes because I don't want to see Gumball's ass wiggle every time. That is not good. But you know what low-key makes this episode really work for me? Is the song. I think the song is so funny. I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion, but like I love the song. Gumball songs are usually good, but this one was just so stupid. Like it honestly sounds like it could be like a real song. Like it's kind of goofy, but it's like isn't that far off from something you might see. I think it's pretty close. It's just like the animation in that scene is gorgeous, but this kind of like Mr. Brown letting go and being free, and it's like EDM music and they're bumping it. It's like I kind of fuck with that honestly. It's like that is just fun. Like, is it a bit too silly? Maybe, but this episode's already stupid enough that it's like, well, can't get much can't get much weirder from here because the whole thing about this episode is this it's just entertaining. Like I don't there's no boring moment in this episode. And it's like weird enough that it keeps me interested, but it's not so creepy that it just throws me out of it like The Distance. This keeps me in more because it could have been worse. I think this is like an unpopular episode because it's so butt focused, but we had the slap in season 5, so where's it season 4? Don't quote me on that. But it's like we've had situations like this before, like with the slap, so I think the slap was a lot weirder than this episode. I'm thinking like this is like the slap's child is the butts. The slap wipes the floors with the butts, I will tell you that much, because the slap is unironically one of my top 10 in the franchise, so don't come for me for that. But it's like they've done something similar before and it was done better then, but this is just weird enough that I can't I can't really rank it as low as I thought I should. But I love this. Sue me, I don't care. I love this enough. Okay, next, the traffic. This was pretty cute. Like we don't get a lot of Annie centric episodes. Like I feel like we should get more. But even though this was like an Anais-centric episode, she didn't really do a lot, which kind of made me a bit sad. It's like I want to see more from Anais. Like we should. Because the thing I love the most about this episode is that Anais actually acts like a child. Like her childlike wonder for going to Daisyland and like how she was reacting like when like that simulation of like them the car going to like the sewer pipes and it's like, oh wow, this is like the water slide. It's like that how she was like it's like childlike innocence and wonder that like we just don't see in Anais. Like we just she is usually portrayed very straight, very mature, because that's the joke. She's like 4, but she's very smart and mature. But it's just this episode just let her be a kid, and I just really enjoy that. And also the pen, the pen ball moment. Okay, I'm gonna say I am so very serious about the Gumball and Penny ship. So anytime they have pen ball, I'm gonna eat that up like fine cuisine. And I just thought this was so cute. It's like Nicole drives up to her house, she's like, Gumball literally died when he sent you that message. It's like, and he's like a mess. Oh my god, I just love them. We will talk more about them later, but like, oh my god. They're so cute. They are so cute in this season. It's like, come on. I've shipped them for like almost 10 years, so I don't fuck around about that ship. I'm a grown woman, but I don't care. I love this ship. But yeah, more of that family love type of vibe in this episode. It's like we love you, we do love you, we try our best even though we fuck up a lot. It's like we still love you and want what's the best for you. They want to do everything for you. It's like I like when they got all like rage mode and were like pushing the broken down car down the highway to go to Daisyland out of sheer will. I loved that scene. That is so cool and so cute. It's like this is a cute episode, but it's like it's good. It doesn't blow me away enough or like grip me enough to like go on the upper echelon, but like I like this. Like this is nice. I would definitely watch this again. I would think about this episode sometimes. Like this is very solid. Very solid indeed. Alright, next. Oh my god. The astrological. Oh my Shayla. This is healing. Oh my god, this definitely top top episode of the franchise. Cause oh my god, this healed my little pen ball heart so much. And a much younger me would have been so happy with this. This is peak. This is so peak. I will put it above the burger. Just a little bit above. But I love pinball. but this whole like idea of like spirituality versus logic, which I mean, I would expect Gumball to do something like that because Mr. Small's whole shtick is how spiritual people are kind of crazy. That's how they frame him. And this whole I just thought like even like the concept of this episode was so interesting. Like Mr. Small has this radioactive gemstone that tells the futures of the relationships of the students. It's like the Shippuden, bro. This reminded me of the Shippuden if it was on less crack. Like it was like that. But in this case, it was like they were under as we would find out, under radioactive high, but at this point it was like, oh, it's destiny that these random people are love each other so much, and Penny is meant to be with Tobias. She doesn't love you, Gumball. She's meant to be with Tobias. And Gumball's like, what the fuck? No way. That can't be real. I did find it super interesting that it was like Gumball be the one that was like self doubting their relationship. I wouldn't say I would expect Penny to do that, but the fact that Gumball was the one and actually did it pretty well, it's like I actually really like that. Because we all know Gumball is so hopelessly devoted to Penny, but it's like in this case, it's like as we would see in an episode we'll talk about much later, but it's like it's not as infallible as I would have thought. I just thought that was interesting. It's like there are some cases where Gumball would question his status with Penny, and that is an interesting thing to think about. But probably my favorite thing of this whole one of my favorite things of the whole episode is the climax where they go into the astral plane and Mr. Small is like God and he's like, you cannot escape your fate, Gumball. Just accept the stars because there's no question in the stars. And then Gumball's like, but I love her. Isn't that enough? And I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. That is second favorite pinball moment. Nothing's gonna beat the shell. I'm sorry. But I love that. He loves her so much. That is very good for my heart. But it's like this whole thing of like love trumps everything. It doesn't matter what she may believe, but I know my feelings and who I am to someone, so why should I doubt that? It's like, oh, so cute. That is so cute, even though this entire episode is probably some drug reference, I assume. Is it? Kind of. It seemed like they were high the whole time if they were like on some radioactive shit, but it's like, I don't know, man. I must admit that them giving Tobias radioactive pecs was kind of a bit much, but I'm like, that's very Tobias coded, so I guess we can't be too mad about that. But it's like, oh, did we have to make them that grotesquely oversized? I don't think so. But also, uh, just a couple random things that I thought were interesting. Why does a Sarah and Hot Dog Guy ship make sense? Like, listen, rare pair alert. I kind of fuck with that. Oh, like I don't know if it's because they've both been like heavily associated with Gumball in the past. But I feel like the color schemes are similar. It's like why do I feel like that makes sense? Like I see that for them, and that would I'd be happy for them. I was about to say like Masami and Alan a, would be an interesting idea, but I think they've done that before. They've done that before, so it's like well that's not too interesting. But it's like most of the rare pairs they had on there were like, oh, that's weird. But Sarah and Hot Dog, hell no, I fuck with that. I like that one. So peak episode, obviously, because love them so much. Okay, the cheerleader. This one was. I don't know. I'm like slightly torn about this because like, kind of I don't care. But part of me is like, but they did execute it pretty well. Will I change my pre-established ranking? No, I don't. No. It's still fine, but not my vibe. Like, I'm gonna put it in front of the thing because there are more things that I like about this episode. Like, this whole thing of generational trauma. Like, okay, Gumball, that's an interesting topic to pull out. But it's like this whole thing of like some of the deep rooted reasons for self doubt and low confidence is like how you were raised, like of the generational beliefs that get passed down from generation to generation that just unconsciously adapts into how we respond to the world. It's like, thank you for bringing that up because that is a very important thing to talk about. But again, another focus on the family love because they all try so hard. It's like, okay, Richard, you can totally be a high school cheerleader. We believe in you. It's like, that is cute, but only to the extent of like I feel like the way this episode was framed as it being purposefully ridiculous that Richard would want to be a cheerleader because it's not in a stereotypical gender role type of way. And I'm oh, he's old and fat. There's no way he can be a cheerleader because look how ridiculous he looks in his dress. It's like, okay, I get the vibe. I get it's like in season one when they had Gumball do the cheer tryouts. It's like again, this reminded me of that kind of, but it's like it kind of had the vibe. It's like, oh look, a guy in a dress, haha, that's funny. It's like, why are we still doing that? But it's like, it could have been worse because he does win in the end. Like Richard impresses everybody in the end with his fantastic gymnastics. And I'm like, okay, I really like that. I can't be too mad at it because if they made him lose in the end, it would make me think, that's a bit misogynistic. But it's like, he does win. And I really like that because how often does Richard win usually? Not very much. But, I mean, Granny JoJo does show up again. I don't care about Granny JoJo because she's annoying. But it's like, I understand why she had to be there in the bleachers. She's like, I'm old, I have nothing better to do, so I just wander to any public event that I want to. I thought that was actually kind of funny. So it's like, yeah, I don't care enough about this episode to put it in pretty good simply because Richard episode. I'm not saying all Richard episodes are bad. We will get to that. But just this one, I don't really care that much. It's still good in a lot of regards. It's just not really my thing. Okay, the Borin. This one surprised me that they would bring Molly back like this. Granted, it seems like every time Molly comes up, she's catching strays. It's like, come on, she's not that boring. But this kind of felt like classic. It's given like season 3 or 4 vibes. Like, does anyone else feel that? Because I totally feel like the season 3 or 4, specifically season 4, I think that kind of vibe. Like, basically, like adventures that happen within the school environment. It just what always reminds me of classic Gumball because I feel like a lot of classic Gumball episodes take place in school. And I think this was like the same vibe as that because it's like Molly is so boring that she will stop time by talking boring things. And we're gonna use her superpowers to help us avoid getting clocked by Tina. It's like, that is a very classic Gumball plot, and we get a focus on not even a secondary character, just like she's like more background character, I think. Because she was in the Void once, obviously. But it's like, we don't see much of Molly. We don't see much of Molly, and I'm glad that we saw Molly and Tina being linked up. Like, that's like one of my favorite parts of this episode is like the dinosaur code between Molly and Tina. It's like, oh, you're with Molly? That's chill. We're friends. And I'm like, yes, I didn't know I needed that, but I am so here for that. And I mean, this is like an episode that's very like not stereotypical, but very typical, like good moral at the end. It's like, it's important to listen to others and be considerate of people. It's like, I like how they like framed it in like a creative way. Like, maybe we shouldn't take advantage of Molly to avoid facing the consequences of our actions. But it's like yes, it's like a very clear cut episode of like, here's a moral lesson. But like, I like the moral lesson. Like, I mean, people need to listen. I think that's some. I think we can have an episode revolved around that. That's important enough. But it's like, it's also like fantastical in some ways because again, it's like the time. It reminds me of that episode where they have the big clock, the countdown. The countdown is what this reminded me of. Why did I almost forget what it was called? It reminded me of the countdown, which is probably why I'm thinking of more mid-season vibes because they literally did something like this. And like the whole thing of like them stopping time to do their like battle training to beat up Tina only for it to flop. It's like, this is a good time. Like, it does, I don't know if it doesn't necessarily like blow me away or like, oh my god, this is so amazing. But I put at the top of pretty good. Like, it's on the cusp between love this and pretty good, but I think I don't know if they made Gumball and Darwin too much of a dick in this episode, but it kind of I don't know if Gumball I can understand because he'd do that shit anyway, but Darwin I don't know if he should be lumped into this. I thought he was considerate of other people. I'm not sure about that characterization, but it could just be me. But next up we have the teacher. Oh my god, this surprised me. Again, this surprised me, but in an even more surprising way that the Borin surprised me is that this was so good. This was so good. Like, we don't see a ton of like Miss Simeon and Gumball. I can think of like one other episode where it was a focus on those two. But this was good. It's like what I like most about this episode is that it kind of puts Gumball in a different position that we don't really see him in, which is a more vulnerable position, because he's basically held as hostage the entire time. So it's not like he can really be his cocky, arrogant little shit self. It's like he's purposely brought down a peg, and we can kind of see how he reacts in a different environment. Because, I don't know, we don't really see Gumball that scared for, like, that long of a period of time. I don't know. I just thought it was just a fascinating Gumball study, honestly. It's like, it kind of reminded me of The Uncle, where it's like when Ocho fake abducted him. It kind of gave that, and I really liked that episode and that scene in particular. That reminded me of this, which is probably why I like it so much. But this whole Miss Simeon lore of like her being kind of portrayed as like a badass, like fighting off criminals when she's really had such a good heart because she bought her laptops for the classroom. It's like they really did some good Miss Simeon work in here too. It's like I quite I do love when she shows up. She doesn't show up a lot, but I really like it when she does. She's not like one of my absolute favorite characters, but it's like I appreciate whenever I see her. And I really liked how they characterized her. Like they definitely dove in and gave her a lot of nuance here. It's like she's kind of scary and kind of bitchy, but she really does care about her students because kind of like the other thought they had was like Gumball's like, "Oh, I totally want to be a teacher. Can you tell me more about that?" That's like his cover up to why he was looking after her after she took his phone. And she's like, "Oh, being a teacher is it's such a wonderful job, even though there's X, Y, and Z downsides. But you're shaping the minds of the future, and that is so rewarding." It's like I really like how they kind of hone in on Miss Simeon loving her job because she could easily fall into like a Mrs. Robinson type of category where she's just a bitter ass person all the time. But she's really not. Like it kind of differentiates her character from not only Mrs. Robinson, but just kind of framing her differently from all the other characters. Because she's not just a mean character. She does have good heart to her. Which is why I think this is a fantastic episode. And I must also say that Gumball was very much in character in this episode because the ending where he like takes a bolt for it when she's like when she explains more of the downsides of being a teacher and he's like and she's like, "Are you sure you don't want to be a teacher?" He's like, "No, I'm good, bye." And it's like he would totally do that. So I would say this this is a love. Right now we're gonna put it at the top because it does both of the characters are focusing on justice, and it was also pretty funny because I do like the more action adventure type of episodes. Quite like that. All right, the app. Another one that I'd had no expectations for this because I'm like, oh my god, is this another phone bad situation? No, this is amazing. Like oh my god, I have. I'm gonna put it at the top of love. In my original draft, I said peak. I don't think it blows me away enough that I was considering it. This is interesting. I'm on the spot right now. I'm changing my mind because I'm thinking like, is it better than the teacher? It's like yes, but how by how much? Interesting to think. Interesting thing to think about. But the thing that makes me like, is this peak or not, is because this is some of the best modern technology commentary I've seen from the show. They have done this so much, but this whole concept of like we were raised on the internet, we know better than our parents that are so illiterate to technology, but also acknowledging that they fall victim to their own habits that they created in the kind of internet society the the older generation has crafted to basically ruin their brains and like manipulate them. So it's like no, it's basically nobody is immune to propaganda type of thing, and I'm like, usually I would be like so annoyed that they would do that. I'm thinking about this other episode doesn't annoy me, but the stars, where it was kind of like this, but this does it better. I'd say like yeah, this I would the app is definitely better than the stars because I think there's a bit more like the angle they're going at here is more interesting. Like this is very interesting like generational discussion on how technology affects different people. Even if it is all just one big TikTok reference, but it's fine. And it's cynical enough. Like the thing I found kind of I don't know if it was even funny, but it was more amusing that like the quote unquote homeless guy, we give him some lore now apparently, is that he was the one like I created this evil and now I have come to destroy it. And then Gumball and Darwin like, bruh, we don't care. You're still an asshole for doing this in the first place. We have no sympathy for you. It's like, damn, Gumball. I love that. It's like it was cynical enough towards this one dude particularly, and I'm like, he's like trying to do the good thing, but he's not the hero in this situation. And I'm like, I really appreciate that. But the thing I appreciate the most is the ending. Like this is low key what kind of made it for me. Was like, oh no, we tried to destroy the Wi-Fi tower, but it didn't work. Well, I guess there's no stopping it now. And then when the parents get on the app and start making their own content and it's not cool anymore, so that breaks the curse, I'm like, that's genius. That is genius. That is a very gumball thing to do. I don't know, the end didn't really catch me off guard. It's just like, I was like, oh my god, this is the perfect way to end this. Because it's realistic. Shit becomes uncool when like older people do it. It's like, for young people, that's how it is. It's like, oh my god, that's why like this is good social commentary because this literally happens. It's not like necessarily a flanderization of the topic. It's just like, yeah, this is just how it is, and I love it. But I don't know if I would quite put it at peak yet. Like the first couple of times I watched it, I was like, yeah, totally. But after a while, I was kind of thinking, it's like, I don't know. It's still so good though, so I'm not trying to denounce it. It's just that's what I'm feeling at the moment. Maybe consider this to be determined, because I'm not quite sure if I will regret this by the time I'm done filming it. Oh my. But, but, the entrance. This is this is my favorite episode. This is my favorite episode. Okay, enough of the jibber jabber. This is my favorite episode of the season. Top 10 in the franchise. Fight me on that. I don't give a fuck. This is my favorite episode of the season. I don't know if even anything in the second half of the season can top this, because this, bro, I love this so much. This is everything I love about Gumball is this episode, where they have a really solid story structure, but it's just on crack. like this episode is Gumball and Darwin on some what it's gotta be like s- psychedelics or something. What I think that's what they were referring to, but it's basically Gumball and Darwin tripping on psychedelics the whole time. It's like, well, also having Tobias's weird fucking creep party. It's like this is this is probably one of the most unhinged episodes I've seen in both of the shows. It's like this is episode's just on crack, like in the best way possible. Because yes, it is very mature and they're not subtle about it at all, but it just works better. It's not like The Distance, where it's like mature, but it's in the bad way. The entrance is mature in the good way because it's very Gumball and it's very funny. Because the animation, oh my god, like when they're like high, like the edges of the screen fuzzes and like the saturation changes. It just glows a bit more. It's a bit more wobbly. I'm thinking about the one scene where they're like having that loopy argument on the sidewalk and they're like slapping each other and the construction workers try to intervene but they get slapped too. It's like that whole like dialogue exchange where like it keeps changing like the tones and the voices. It's like I love that is incredible. You know what this episode reminds me of? It reminds me of the alien drug trip scene in the Smile and Friends episode, Pim, Charlie, Bill, and the Alien from season 2. It's like that scene, but it's the whole episode. I wanted to see that shit from somebody for so long, and I have that now, and I'm like, what if they just had a whole episode where they're just tripping out? It's like, I wonder what kind of situation they do that in. You know what? We got it, and this is the best way to do it. Because they're like oblivious to the fact that this cologne is actually drugs, and then they wonder why they're like actually tweaking out. Because the funniest thing, like when they're getting dressed up in the bathroom, and they just immediately cuss them looking like they just came out of like a bender, and they're like, "What happened?" Like literally black out and like do all this crazy shit just to like get more disheveled each time, and they're completely oblivious to it until like the last moment, where it gets like the climax scene of the episode with like that police car chase. Like, oh, they were just going to town with that animation. I sure don't mind to see it, because I like when guest animators come onto the show to do something really cool. But yeah, but like also like well, the thing that like propels this plot is like Tobias is having a house party, his Tropical Fest, and he's like, "Don't forget to bring your girlfriends." And then the way they frame that is hilarious. I don't know. I can't quite place the word of what they're trying to portray Tobias to be, but hear me out. They made Tobias like Tedros from The Idol. Oh my god. I'm like, this seems familiar. This creepy, sleazy vibe is very familiar. And I'm like, Tetris coded. Good lord. Don't throw rocks at me. If you follow me on my other platforms, you know that's very in character for me to do. Okay? Okay. But they just made Tobias like this creepy, slimy, like, womanizer. Like, come to my luxurious mansion and you'll have the best time of your life. Like, it's like a Hollywood party type of vibe. And they were very much portraying Tobias to be this, like, sleazy guy. Like, they should have just gave him a rat tail and then you would have got the message across. But, I just thought, like, that is so something Tobias would do. Like, that doesn't feel out of character in the slightest. You're thinking, oh, that's kind of an extreme position to put a character in, to be, like, this really gross, disturbing guy, but it's like, for Tobias, it makes sense. He's done enough shit before where he can realistically do this. And then in the end, when all the criminals come out to go trash Tobias's house, it's like, ah, rip Tobias, but I guess he had it coming. This is just fun. This is so much fun. Like, this is funny and fun, and the story is really tight, and the animation is beautiful, and all the characters are, like, so in character. It's like, nobody feels that off. And I'm like, peak, absolute fucking peak. Hell yeah. And then we have to talk about another one that gave me brain damage, the letter. Okay. Listen. If you know me, if you know my work, you know the crash out fanfiction I wrote about this episode. I will link it in the cards because I actually did do a narration on this fic that amended the ending to this fucking episode because this you could have shot me. It would have been less painful than this. Oh, this ruined my life. This fucking ruined my life. But you know what? It goes above the distance solely because there's less incest. Okay, there's still we'll get there, but there's still some weird shit. But straight to hell with this episode. Straight to the pit of hell, along with the distance. This is bad. This is horrible. This offended me personally. Because I do not fuck around with the Darwin and Carrie ship. I feel more strongly about Penball than I do Carwin. Now, you know I don't fuck around with Carwin. I been shipping this shit since the matchmaker. And guess what episode pretty much makes that episode completely void of consequence? This fucking thing. Okay. We need to get into why this is bad and wrong and a fuck up. It's because it seems like whoever wrote this episode had no idea who Carrie was as a character. They chopped my girl up, and I don't appreciate it. It's like, it's not even regression to like season 1. It's just completely flanderized, which is heartbreaking because I love Carrie as a character. Yes, I love the ship, but I love Carrie as an individual too. It's just like they portrayed her to be like this nasty, cold, and different, scary person. It's like, yes, she's kind of scary. She's a little she's like very nonchalant. But it's like you're portraying her to be like this fucking demon person. Like, I don't know if it's just my emotions blinding me there, but it was like, they made her so mean. Like, what the fuck did they make her that mean? Where it's like, you cannot tell a ghost you love them or she'll bite your face off. I'm like, calm down. Because this whole thing, this also makes me really fucking mad, is that the ghost lore that they present here is just wrong in comparison to the continuity we already have. Because they say they loved each other before. Have we forgotten about the matchmaker? It was her tears of true love that broke the spell. So fuck you. This is wrong. I'm sorry. I'm having my crash out moment because I can't take this anymore. It's like, did you never watch the show before you wrote this? I'm sorry. It's like, oh, there's so much to get into. We need to keep focused. Because right off the bat, like the first minute of the episode, when Darwin's like, I wrote Carrie a letter, I'm gonna give it to her. Then Gumball's like, are you sure that's a good idea? That's like setting off so many bad things, like setting off a monster. Like, oh, I don't think you should do that. Like, Gumball, for fuck's sake, you're acting like his girlfriend is gonna like axe murder him. It's like that's what you're kind of implying, and I'm like, Why did Gumball treat Carrie so barbarically? Like saying oh, like have you forgot that they are dating and that she's not a bad person? Like give me a fucking break. It's just like the only thing saving this entire episode is the very cute pinball moment they had. Don't come at me like, oh, it was too much. I love that it was too much. I like them seeing being lovey towards each other because that is very cute. I don't care if that was a bit overdone. I like it because it saved this thing. And it was also very weird that Carrie thinks affection is cringy because did they just make that up? Like I it doesn't make any sense. It just contradicts everything. And it seems that in this makes it even worse is that like Darn was like scared of Carrie. Like he seemed so scared of her to like talk to her and stuff. It's like, no, you're supposed to love each other. Why are you scared of her? She's not like this, I promise. It's like, oh my god. I felt so bad for Darwin this entire episode. It's like he doesn't deserve that. But you know what ruins this? That alone would have ruined it. Like ruining the Carwin ship by itself. Like, oh, you already fucking ended everything, so what's there more to lose? What is there more to lose is that there's more incest jokes in this episode. Okay, this is the other major issue that I'm like, who wrote this? Because the resolution that they decided was okay to do, it's like for some reason they forgot that Darwin and Carrie can kiss normally. Because the way they did it here was that Carrie possessed Gumball's body in order to make out with Darwin. Ah, this is too much, man. This is too much. It's like, and then Gumball's like rationale in it, like I understand if I can be like the temporary solution in the situation. Like, you gotta make it work out, make it feel real, and I'm like, Gumball, what the fuck are you doing? And obviously, as he thinks more about it, he's like, wait, this is weird. Maybe you should fix this. Like, we need to do something about it because I don't want to be kissing you at your wedding. I mean, rightfully so. Thank God he finally realized that was weird as fuck. But it's like, why are we having this discussion? Why are we having this discussion? It's just like, why is Gumball the middleman when there's no middleman in this relationship? They have been shown kissing and holding hands and stuff. Even in this season, even in this season, we see Darwin and Carrie holding hands a couple times. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Oh my god. It could have possessed anybody else. But Gumball, cause I don't fucking know. And the cherry on top of this shit sandwich is like when Gumball was reading the, the curse passages from the cursed notebook, and he accidentally cast the love spell on him and Darwin, and I'm like, oh god. But when Darwin's like, oh no, that was the love spell. We have to go fix this. And Gumball's like, you do look like a snack, bro. And I'm like, oh, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with that. That's too much. That is too much. I'm like, dude, there's literally nothing redeeming about this episode except for that one cute pinball scene, but we could sacrifice that from this episode not never existing at all. So hell, permanent residence in hell, but only above the distance because there's less incest, even though there is still incest in there. Oh my god. Alright, next we have the gut. This surprised me so much. Dare I say, it's my favorite Richard episode ever? I don't know. But I was so surprised because I looked at the synopsis of this and I'm like, fucking, what the fuck are we doing? But then I actually watched it and I'm like, Wait, this has no business being this good. Like, the concept is so fucking stupid. Like, who comes up with the sentient stomach that slowly takes over the body? Like, okay, body horror, I see you. I think that's one of the things I like most about this episode. It's just so fucking weird, but it's like they make it work. Because it's so, like, body horror, Eldritch Being type shit. It's like, I like that. I quite like when Gumball does, like, weird shit like that. And, like, this, like, this whole episode's, like, focused on, like, Anais wanting Richard to, like, basically be more intelligent so she can have, like, intelligent conversations with him. And then when he swallows her invention and, like, his stomach can talk, like, that alternate personality kind of overtakes the body. But then Anais realizes, well, I love my father more than anyone, so I don't want him to change. If I'd rather have him than nothing. It's like family love. I love to see it. It's like, oh, that's so cute. Like, this whole Richard's motivation of being like, I just want to be the best I can for my daughter. I'll do anything for her. Cause, like, you know what? They don't focus on him, at least, like, to an extent that bothers me. Like the usual jokes of him being fat, lazy, or incompetent. Yes, the 5 second rule thing. I'll give it a pass because it was kind of funny. But it's like, it doesn't focus on him being like too much of a fuck up. Because it shows that his strength, like the love of his children is so strong that that he will sacrifice his entire being to make her happy. But in the end, she just loves him for him. I mean, granted, Gumball and Darwin are just kind of there. Like, they don't really do much. It's like, you gotta have them there, I suppose. But it's like, it's very much an Anais and Richard episode, which I very much, I we don't see that much, like those two together. I thought this was amazing. Like, it's kind of like puts Richard in a positive light for once in his life because he's always catching strays, but it's like actually they're actually making him seem pretty pretty well. Like, put him in a pretty good light for once instead of just being all these bad things that he's usually associated with because he loves his children. We'll speak of another episode that has like a similar theme, but it's like I really love that. And where to place it? I think I'll put it behind the assistant because it's more like which one would I rather watch. I just like I like Nicole episodes more than Richard episodes. I think I don't know. They're kind of fuck. I don't know. Is it got better than the assistant? No, I'm fine with that. I don't really know. I'm just not gonna really think. I'm not gonna think about that much more. But for now, that is fine. Okay, next. This is an interesting one. The Wrinkle. This this is so good. It is peak, but it's like at the end of peak. Like it's it's almost virgin on the end of love this because I just moved the app from peak to love this. I like the Wrinkle more just because what it has to offer I like more singularly than the entirety of the app. Because I guess I prefer this kind of plotline over that kind of plotline. You kind of feel me? But the thing I love most about this episode is the mess, like the song. I fucking love the song. Like the message, it's like the whole idea of like Anais being so stressed out because her family stresses her out. There's nothing she wants to like help, but they're themselves. How can they help only so much? but then the song is like, it's just, it's like, mistakes are okay. It's like we can take different paths of life than what we originally thought of, and it can often lead to good things, because if you take the risk and take risks in general, then it might lead you to something good. It's like if we didn't do difficult things or have to make difficult decisions, we wouldn't have ended up in this very nice place we are right now. And I'm like, oh my god, I love that. It made me tear up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And then Anais at the end is like, it's not up to me to fix other people's mistakes, and I'm like, we need to hear more of that. We, I just, it's a very sophisticated Gumball message, but it's pretty easy to understand. Like it's not like social commentary. It reminds me, well, they've done things like this before, so it's like it just highlights of some of the things they like to do the best. So that overarching concept in itself, it made me tear up a bit, so it's going in peak. So anything that makes me cry is gonna go in peak, alright? Because the other part of this episode that I specifically love is Darwin's segment. Oh, this made me crack up the first time I saw it. But it's like I love like the self-defense scene where Darwin is being trained to be like an iron warrior, like very stoic, very grizzled, and he's still a smiley little goober underneath, and then the other people are like, how could this be? Is it that in cuteness lies infinite strength? And then they bow to him, and then he's like, okay, this was great, but I have to go now. It's like, I just love what they were trying to do there, what they were doing there, because the point did come across. Was like, it doesn't have to be stereotypical in like cute people are defenseless, because what this is what piqued my interest probably the most is how in Anais's book she noted down Darwin needs to learn to defend himself, so quote, no one can take advantage of him when he leaves home. I find that interesting because I don't know. I would speak more on this if I had more concise thoughts, but I don't. I'm just like, that is an interesting way to frame Darwin's biggest flaw. So no one can take advantage of him. I thought that wording was interesting. It could have said to protect himself, to stand up for himself, but so no one can take advantage of him. I don't know if I'm not remembering maybe some episodes where that type of thing did happen to Darwin, but I'm just curious of where that came from, because I don't see Darwin as like a defensiveless kind of guy. Like he's strong in his own rights. I'm just not really sure what they were doing with that. But the fact that that made so we had the whole fight training scene, it's fine. Darwin did prove himself in the end that just because he's cute doesn't mean he can't be strong. But the ending of that scene is like wait, what? The little spoon joke. That whole thing caught me off guard, but it was like so funny because Darwin's like, your outfits are so fierce. Like it made him seem kind of. I know that was like an intentional queer coded type of thing. Like they made him do. It was queer coded on purpose, and I will stand by that because what else would that be? And then the other guys misinterpret. It's like, oh my god, it seems like our outfits are like bad. Like we have to do something to change them to make them better. And this other guy's like, yeah, it needs more like little spoon energy. And then someone's like, oh, I love being the little spoon. And I'm like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I was not a bottom joke was not on my bingo card for this season, but you know what? That I like that. That was funny. That was and how the guys come back later in the episode. It's like it ties together. I quite It was a little surprising, but I'm like, you know what? I like this. And another surprising thing is they actually gave Gumball a criminal record. like, it's one of those like unspoken truths is that Gumball has done so much shit that he's got to be like a public enemy at this point. But it's like them actually acknowledging it is kind of funny. It's like, yeah, but you're 12, so at least for now you can get away with it, but otherwise you get life in prison. It's like they made Gumball. It was interesting. They made Gumball to be seen as such a menace to society, but it's like he kind of is. We're just kind of used to it. For like anyone else in Elmore, it's like, yeah, no shit. It's like since we're so used to seeing Gumball doing his shenanigans, it's like, eh. So that's why I found it surprising they actually did acknowledge that. And then like the funny part when it's like he tries to call the police, but he really just like acts down all the guys just by breathing the wrong direction. It's like I wish Gumball's segment just lasted longer. Like I felt like Darwin's scene lasted longer. I don't know actually if it did, but it felt longer. I just wanted more from that because I found it funny. But the last part that I this is probably the part I don't care for the most was the Nicole and Richard segment. It just seemed kinda weird. It's like the characterizations just didn't feel right. It's like why would Richard say that type of thing? It's like I work so hard and I could really use a break, and then they're kind of arguing over like who actually does the work in the house, and especially when Nicole's like, "Oh, you drain all of my finances," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Do we have evidence of that happening consistently enough that this should be a problem?" Because I don't. I'm like, where did you pull that from? I'm curious, but it's like it just felt out of character. It kind of really portrayed Richard to be kind of delusional and arrogant, kind of. It's not like Richard doesn't do anything in the family unit. Like he does provide qualities, but Nicole made him seem like he does nothing all day and he depletes their finances. I'm like, what? That's a bit regressive from the gut, don't you think? I don't know. It just was a bit weird, but it didn't throw me off enough to like take this episode down a notch, which is kind of why it's on the cusp of the two tiers, but overall, I do very much enjoy this enough to consider it peak B just because I like the message so much. And now we will move on to the gourmet. Oh, I really do love this episode. Like I really do. It's just I have some conflicting thoughts about it, specifically on how like is it regressive from the Fury? Because as we know, they brought back Yuki Yoshida and made many references to the Fury. But it seems like they disregarded the progression they made at the end of that episode just to make this work. And I'm thinking, did we need that? Because when even Gumball explained, or someone said, like, you think one anime battle is enough to solve a minor inconvenience, then you would be wrong. I personally just didn't like that because first, it's too self-referential. Like, there's a few moments in this new season that feel like it's just a bit too direct for me. Like small jokes like that. It's like it doesn't make it funny or than it would have been if you were just to kept it more subtle. I don't know. Wasn't a fan of that, but if we must take it at face value that they really haven't forgiven each other, then fine. I will. That's the kind of frame of mind I'm gonna go into the rest of this talk because it's like it's possible that they didn't forgive each other after that, even though it really seemed like they did, but it's not completely out of the question. But we'll move on from that for now because the overall structure of this episode is fantastic. This is so Gumball. Like, Gumball as a character, this is so some shit he would do. He's risking it all for the mac and cheese. I fuck with that heavy. I understand him completely. Risking it all to get the most smacking mac and cheese he ever seen. I understand that. And him having put in the discipline to prove his worth to get said mac and cheese is also kind of in character for Gumball. Because again, he would totally do that shit. But also something kind of a smallish detail that I found that kind of elevated this episode even more is how Masami was just there and obviously didn't give a fuck about what was going on. I just thought that was funny. It's like she's the reason why he got into their house, or she was the one who insinuated this whole mac and cheese situation, and yet she's just there. She doesn't care and whatever. And I just like that is so Masami. She would totally do that. So that was also good. Because I thought like, oh, is Nicole out of character for like wanting to beat up Yuki again or whatever? And I'm like, no, she'd do that anyway. Because like something on I also appreciate kind of like the fake out ending. It's like okay, like Nicole's like, oh, it's okay, Gumball. Just because we don't have everything they have doesn't mean we can't have nice things or something like that. And then it's like, oh, thanks, Mom. But she also says you have bad hair and don't know how to dress. And then she's like, fuck it, we going in. It's like she would do that. She would do that. I love it. A consistent like Gumball trait I see in a lot in some episodes is like how you think things are going well, but then one small thing just breaks a person and they just go ape shit. I like when that happens, and I liked it when it happened here. And just overall, I never thought I'd see a Gumball and Yuki episode. It's like we just like who came up with that? They need a raise because it was such an interesting dynamic where it's like again Gumball being put in like a different kind of situation from what he's normally put in, like where he's like forced to basically change his whole identity in order to get this stupid thing that he wants. The fact that he would do that says a lot about his character. So it's like, well, that's another good Gumball episode because it does show him do different stuff and how he pretty much betrays Nicole for the mac and cheese almost. If Nicole's like he was about to do that, and I'm like, because at that when I first was watching, I was like, I don't know where they're gonna go with this. Like it could go either way. Because sometimes for Gumball, you don't really know how it's gonna end. I didn't expect him because like him going back and forth between the two. He's like, I just want my mac and cheese, and he like makes all the stuff on the table fall off. And I'm like, you know what? He would do that shit. So it's like, I just this episode just has good vibes. I must say, it's just kind of fun, and Nicole gets to win for once, so that is very cool. So I'm gonna put that in between the app and the teacher and love this because I do love this. If it wasn't for some of the continuity problems, I think it would have bumped up to peak if I'm being perfectly honest. Okay, and next we have the pool. Oh, this is such a nice little episode to be quite honest because you know what this feels like? Just classic Gumball. I mean like season 1 Gumball. 1 and 2 type of vibe. Maybe it's because it's a Mr. Robinson episode, and most Mr. Robinson episodes happen to the beginning of the series, but I this just felt nice. It's like some of the episodes of this season feel like they're on crack, but this one just didn't. I mean, there were some episodes we spoke about so far that weren't very crack-ish. But I feel like this one specifically felt very grounded in like original Gumball territory. Like it's one of those classic episode tropes where it's like, oh, it's a hot summer. How can we ever cool off? And it's like, we want to use the pool, but they won't let us use the pool. It's like, it's very, it's very like wholesome kind of, especially with the framing of Richard wanting to be a good parent and do whatever he can so the kids can swim in the pool. It's like him doing his best, and it's like it's just nice. This episode's nice. Like the most out of pocket thing they do is like they made Mr. Robinson like a stereotypical boomer, and some of the offhand things he would say is like, "Oh, you can still very much tell that this is wonderfully weird Gumball," but it's like besides that, which I mean, that was inevitable. That was an inevitable evolution of his character in this point in time. But this whole episode felt very classic, and plus having the good elements of even though a lot of Richard's plans do fail, like they don't win in the end either. But I guess they went to the point of beyond return if they just have a hole in the pool now. Can't do much about that. But this whole Richard proving himself to be a good father, specifically when he's like underground digging his hole and he's like going crazy. You know what that reminded me of? Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. When Homer Simpson was like freaking out in like the Shining parody. You feel me? Same vibe. Like Homer Simpson Treehouse of Horror. And I'm like, that is cool. I picked that up on my first watch too, and I'm like, I really like that. Like it's kind of weird, but it's like cool. And even all of that aside, we have like Mr. Robinson and Rocky lore, like this whole again, kind of framing him as a stereotypical boomer is like he worked his whole life to have a nice life for his kids while also neglecting his kid in spite of that and kind of having this false image of Rocky in his mind because he doesn't pay attention to Rocky growing up, but he is so focused on the one baby picture he has on his desk. So it's like very ideological, like delusional type of thing. It very in character for Mr. Robinson because this just adds to lore that we've already spoken of in past seasons. So I do like that. Even though Rocky catching all the strays, because I don't think he even talked in this episode. He was just there and in pain. But rip Rocky. Well, this was like a nice episode. It's like it didn't super blow me away, but it's still good. I just would put it under the traffic. Because I like what the traffic was doing a bit more than the pool. Because the pool is very standard, not predictable. But you know what I mean. It's a very standard, safe, nothing too crazy going on type of plot. The traffic had some interesting things going on. The pool is just slightly less interesting, even though I still really do enjoy it. It's just the if we even look at the competition up here, there's just a lot of competition, and in general, you'll find that there's just a lot of competition this season because I do really enjoy a lot of it. But I'm taking a bit of a down note. This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't really care about the portrait. I know, I think I looked it up. I think it has a very high rating on IMDb, but I just don't care about the extended family. I which is weird that it's just in this episode like the choices is one of my favorites, and that's very like focused on the extended family too, but it's like this just didn't work for me. Maybe it's because I'm just in general not a fan of the type of story where it's like this character wants this thing, but the universe makes it exceedingly more difficult for the person to get that thing, and they never end up getting that thing, so they just have to make peace with that reality. And I'm like, let Nicole win, please. Let her have her nice picture. It's like I don't understand why they just won't let her have a nice picture, because I mean, I kind of like that they brought back like the wacky painting in the background. And like, oh, that looks kind of weird. I like they brought that back, but it's like you went through this whole episode just to keep that same painting in the living room. So it's like, then this didn't mean anything really. It's just kind of annoying and kind of mean to Nicole. Like, let her have a nice picture, please. I beg of you. And like, yes, there's some like family lore that is explained in this episode because literally everybody shows up. But I feel like, I mean, the chaotic nature of the episode makes sense and kind of the energy it's trying to invoke because that's how Nicole feels. But they just casually drop that Nicole's parents are getting a divorce and that she is now together with her yoga instructor that is, I think, younger than Nicole. So, we just glossed over that. I feel like that could have been a whole episode. Like, I would watch that. The thing is, like, that's a like I feel like that's the way you're gonna drop this. Really? I mean, I knew they did it just to make it more like exciting and high stakes, but it's just like I don't think that was the best way to do that. To be quite honest, it's just kind of a lot, and not in a way that I prefer. Like, it's not bad. It's just like I don't prefer that type of thing. Even though the scene where like the police were like attacking them was kind of like cool, like in on a visual level. I thought that was like kind of entertaining, even though the whole thing about the police breaking into their house and then they're like, oh, the camera's broken, but look, here's you get the fake out ending where you think they got the nice picture, but it's really kind of fucked up looking. It's like, you know what, let's put this one back. And I'm like, so this meant nothing. Okay. I just there's like some things I like about this, but it's just like a bit too much for me. I'm gonna put it in front of the thing just because there's more things I like about the portrait than the thing. But it's like I don't care really about this episode. Like, I'm sorry. If you like this, that is so cool. I wish I could like this more. But I just can't get into this one as much as I think I should. Oh, so now here's an episode that I kind of hate how much I like this. The climb. Okay. I what I said about the butts is kind of similar to the climb. Is like the concept of this episode should make me just not like this, but I can't help but like it because it's just too entertaining. But I must say that this episode is more suspicious than the butts. I don't know. Is that a hot take? I don't know. But there's some more questionable moments in the climb than in the butts. There's just there's a lot going on in this episode. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I do love the plot. Like Gumball has they gave bro PTSD over him being in his underwear in front of everyone on the climbing wall. It's like he's so embarrassed and he's so traumatized by that he simply cannot do the climb wall again. It's like Gumball's ego is that fragile that that is possible. I'm sorry, Gumball, but it's like I feel like he would get. I feel like that's plausible. He doesn't want himself to be seen in a poor light. Like I can imagine that for him. But what the first thing that made me side eye this episode was when they're actually like in a like re redoing like the scene like the moment when he first lost his pants on the climb wall. The way they animated his ass was too much. It's like I I don't want to see that. It's I'd say this is the episode where like the jiggle physics of Gumball's butt is just at its worst. It's like, he didn't need it to be that weird. It's so weird. Don't like that, but I do again like episodes where they put Gumball in a different type of situation to see how he acts from how he normally is, because while it is in character, I get it would be I suppose it would be pretty in character for Gumball to like maybe do something like this, but this whole thing of like him being like super scared and super timid is it's just something we don't really see in him a lot. So I'm kind of what I appreciate most about this episode is we just see a different kind of Gumball for at least most of the episode, because I feel like again I feel like this makes sense. But there are like some like issues I do have about this is because it's like the small things. Like the football movie joke. It's like, I know you ripped that straight from a football movie, but I don't care because that was so inspirational or something like that. Like that's another thing. It's like it's too direct. It's like we we you could have cut that line out and it would have been a better joke, because like we know that that's a football movie reference, but it's funnier if the characters don't know that. I just thought it was a bit much. And also the weird joke when Penny was like, "Well, Gumball, you're like a 24-hour bakery. Your buns are always out." And I'm like, I'm okay with Penny saying that. At least it wasn't Darwin, dear God. But it's like, okay, Penny. Okay. And I was just like, oh, that's a bit strange, but I just wasn't expecting Penny to say that, to be quite honest. But probably the part that I liked the most was again, I don't know if it's like the climax of the episode, but it kind of is. Like when Gumball has his near death experience, and the sentient pants start talking to him, and they're like, let go of the past, don't let your fear from the past affect how you perform in the future. It's like, I know that that message of the episode is what's saving this up a good few places in this tier. This is why I love this episode, because I love that message, and I love that they use Gumball being scared to do something, which isn't usually characteristic of him, but in some situations it proves that that can be the case, is that you gotta let go of your fears sometimes, and don't let the past control you. And then we get to the ending, which took me so far out of left field that I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? The Gumball nude climbing sequence. Because we're led to believe the fake out engine, again, they do this quite a bit actually, is when Gumball's like, I'm ready to climb the wall again. I'm gonna let go of my past and I'm gonna do the thing. And Darwin's like, yay! And then Gumball drops his pants naked. And I'm thinking, that implied that he was Commando the whole time. I don't want to. Why did they do that? And then he does like these elaborate climbing poses with his balls out. It's like the only thing saving me from throwing up is that all the rest of the characters thought this was disgusting too. So they were self aware that this was weird, and I'll give them points for that. Because, I mean, I like that, like, about half of the class just left. It's like, I'm done. I don't want to see that. I appreciate that so much. I don't really appreciate the rest of them staying in there, because Principal Brown's like, we are all totally gonna get fired for this. It's like, then why did you not leave, my guy? Oh my god. But it's like, everyone's just like, bruh. And it just ends like that. And Gumball is so proud of himself, because, like, I climbed the wall. And it's like, you know what? I don't hate this as much as I should. I really don't. Like, I like the premise, I like the execution for the most part. And it's kind of it's a little too weird to get too mad at. I don't know if that's unpopular or not, but like I don't mind this. I actually really like it. But it's better than the butts because I like the concept of the climb more because the butts is objectively a weirder concept. They're both butt focused. That's a pattern. But yeah, it's like the story of the climb is just better. It has more questionable moments in the butts, but the story's better. It offends me a bit. It could offend me more. I don't know. We're just gonna leave it like that. And then, last but not least, actually, is the Amadean. This has got some thoughts to it, even though this could piss me off a lot more than it already does. This episode kind of confuses me. Like, this is like the penball. This is not the penball episode of the season because the astrological wipes the floors with this, but this is another like pinball episode. Like we have a handful of them in the franchise, but this is one of them, and this is my least favorite one of them. Because the whole situation of like Petty tricks Gumball into going to her grandma's birthday party, knowing Gumball's grapes against her family and not wanting to go to their house again, and then Gumball like almost dropping out of it like 5 times throughout the episode, and him being so vigilant and like, I hate your family. It's like, that's. Listen, I know there's grounds for this. There's a couple episodes that I understand why they did this. I just don't really like it. Because this would end up in hell if they didn't kind of like amend it like near the end. Where it's like the family's like, actually, we do accept you. Welcome to the family. And then Gumball's like, fuck y'all. We'll get to how that ending makes me feel, because it makes me feel some things that I'm not quite sure about. But the reason why Penny brings Gumball to her party, she's like, my family's super traditional about stuff, and I want you there to help support me, because it's gonna be kind of weird. And then Gumball's like, what? Why the hell did you drag me into this? You know I hate I hate your family. And then it's like I feel like the thing that takes off the entire plot is kind of built on shaky grounds of like it's like it's not unfounded. It's just like I just don't like it really. I don't really care for that type of thing. It's like make them be happy. I'm just a loser. It's like please make them happy. But the thing that pissed me off is like Gumball like pretty much coerces Penny into putting her shell back on for the party, and I'm like, oh, that's. I understand we need that to happen for this plot to work, but besides that, well, he should know better. I'm not saying, oh, this avoids the events of the shell. Like, no, no, it doesn't. I'm just like, even I understand Penny's pain. I would say Penny being kind of a bitch to Gumball is not cool, but it's like she has good reason for being like that, so we'll give her the pass, because I'd be pissed too. It's just like Gumball's kind of a dick, and Penny's also kind of a dick in this episode, so it almost neutralizes itself, but it's like, it's not all doom and gloom though, because Gumball does actually stand up to Penny's grandma. That whole bathroom monologue was. It was kind of giving me Smile and Friends energy. Like the line delivery, it kind of felt like that. Gumball having this awkward, long-winded monologue, and then for the grandma just to leave without saying a word. And then Gumball's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I got that off my chest." Like I think that's the funniest part of this whole episode is that scene, because that works for me. But what doesn't work for me is how they kind of portrayed Penny's family, which they called them the Fitzgerald clan. So they were portraying the Fitzgerald clan as this is my opinion, but kind of like different is scary type of thing. Like other cultures are scary and weird. I know that's not what the episode concludes on. It seems like the whole episode was kind of a fake out for the twist ending that we're actually not scary. We do appreciate you. It's just like it's just the way they framed the family for like 3/4 of the episode. Just I'm side eye. I'm gonna give it the side eye because I'm like I don't know about that one. It feels kind of icky. I don't know. But it's like they do amend it at the end because again they reveal everyone out of their shells and they explain it's like we stay in our shells to protect the people we love, but that's not true for everybody. And I'm like I like that. I swear if it didn't end like the way it did, I would hate this episode a lot more. But they actually did amend it in the end, and I appreciate that because if not, I would have actually crashed out. But the thing that kind of makes me a bit shaky about how I feel about this is that Gumball almost didn't accept the family's like bringing in. Like he's like, "Fuck y'all! Y'all abducted me and were like mean to me. I don't want to come back to this family ever again." And then, but then it's like, "What about the karaoke machine?" He's like, "Maybe." It's like Gumball. You're saying the karaoke machine's more important than your girlfriend? That gave an eyebrow raise because I'm like, is it should this is how it should have been. I understand that was like the funny way to end it, but the way it should have ended, it's like, yeah, but Penny's worth dealing with all this because I love her so much. It's like that's how they should have like directly framed it. Like you just endure it anyway because it's worth being with Penny. Even though I would be interested to see what they do with that type of situation, like Gumball's relationship to Penny's family in future episodes, if they decide to make another episode like this, because continuity reasons. I'm just curious what else would they do with the Fitzgerald family plotline? So it's like I don't know. I don't know. But it is good enough. I think it's good enough. Solely because it's pinball focused, and anything pinball focused is gonna get me interested. And the fact that the episode didn't really end on a sour note. So we'll give it the pass, I suppose. Okay, we're done. That's that was a lot. But now that we look at our complete chart, we kind of see how these fall. It's kind of even. It's pretty even at least. Obviously, I love most of these episodes. Like anything above pretty good, pretty good and above, it's like yeah, I can see. I enjoy this. I enjoy this enough. Anything below that is like either like I don't really care about there, or is like get out of my face. But like my overall thoughts of this part of this season, because again, we still have 20 more episodes of the season to go, and I will be doing a tier ranking of those episodes when the time comes, so you can stay tuned for this, because this is only part one of talking about this. But overall, I am so happy that this exists. Oh my god, I have my problems with it. With any good piece of media, we have to be critical about it enough to point out where it did wrong. But I feel like overall this series does more right than wrong. It's like we have Gumball back. Gumball is back, and he's still good. Cause I mean, I never doubted that this would be like bad, bad. Like, oh, they're gonna completely ruin this show. But it's like they did pretty damn good in like keeping the energy alive. Because I will admit that this show's more chaotic than the original show. Because even watching some of the most chaotic episodes of the original series, there's still stuff that this series does. It's just a bit edgier, for lack of a more sophisticated term. It's a bit more spicy, even. Like, it's got a bit of spice to it. It's got a little bit of pep in its step kind of thing. Because they make bolder jokes, they have some bolder plot lines and some bolder choices. And besides, the animation being a lot better. Like, I didn't. Gumball's animation was always good, but this is kind of like you can see the monetary increase in that animation, man. Oh my, it's such beautiful animation. I like can't get over. It's like, thank you Hulu for giving these guys the budget to look spectacular because we need that. But it's like the question is this better than the original show? I can't say that yes or no. Because to me, this just feels like a continuation of the original. It doesn't feel like it's not a reboot. Like, to me, it's just not. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like a continuation of what we already have. Is the energy different? Yes, but you can also compare how the energy is different from, like, season 1 to season 6. It's like Gumball has gone through some tonal changes and even like stylistic changes throughout the seasons of the original show. So is this one being different from what we've seen so far really jarring enough to say this is a completely different thing? I don't think so. Like, this does feel like a natural progression from what season 6 left us with. But I will say, the second half of the season better have some of the deep lore built in. Like, I'm talking about the Void, Rob, the world at large. Like, I need to see that. Like, Rob didn't even appear so far. And I better see his ass in the next part of the season, or we're gonna have problems. But it's like I wish we had a little bit of crumbs of that in here, unless they're like saving it for like a really big episode, then I don't know. But I am so excited to see where this goes next because right now I'd rate this like very highly. Obviously, I would say like on a 1 through 10 scale, but it's like I don't know if I could really tell you how I feel about that because again, we have some of the best and dog shit, which the fact that there is dog shit Gumball episodes now is it's not doing good things for me. Because it's like, well, how do I feel about it? It's like there's some of the golden peak episodes, but we also have some of the worst things I've ever seen from the franchise. So it's so difficult to rank this, which is why I'm doing it on the episode type of basis rather than like, is this show better than this show? It's like, I don't know. It's different. It's its own thing, and that is perfectly fine. So, that's just my 2 cents. I mean, I know people are gonna disagree with me, so if you would like to know how you would how you feel about these, please let me know. I'd be interested to hear about it. But also, I'm wondering, like, should I do the rest of the series? I feel like I want to, like, tier rank the seasons like this. I think I might. Well, I know for sure. I wanted to make this known. Coming soon. Smile and Friends tier ranking after season 3 airs. Ooh, that's gonna be so much fun. 1, 2, and 3 together. We're gonna do that soon. As of filming this, season 3's next week. Let's go! But yeah, let me know your thoughts below, and if you would like to see me tier rank any other Gumball seasons. So yeah, this will be all for me today. But thanks for listening. If you made it to the end, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.